Hello, I'm so glad that you could join with me today. I'm going to pull a few cards for the collective. So we'll get started here. We've got some really beautiful messages coming through for some of you who have been struggling in your personal relationships with romance. I'm getting a lot of feedback from individuals on their twin flame journey where they're starting to recognize that the more in tune they get with their own healing, the closer they feel to their counterpart. And this has always been what that twin flame journey has recognized. It's always been about the realization of self-love, and the only way that your counterpart can recognize you is when you are in that place of perfect alignment. And when you are truly recognizing yourself and that love. That doesn't mean that you're unworthy of love when you're not in alignment with your twin flame. This is a very specific journey of healing for individuals who have reached that point and have decided this is something that they want to embark upon. So it's certainly not to be to say that someone is not deserving and worthy of being loved and cherished. In fact, all of those are those karmic relationships that help you heal and help you become the better version of yourself, so that you do recognize, this is bigger. There's more here, and I would like to dig into that. And that's where we find ourselves really. You have possibly discovered that your counterpart or your twin flame, your loved one, or your karmic has not been fully honest with you. For a lot of you, you already knew that was the case, and you were kind of waiting for the confirmation, and spirit kept showing you the signs, and you kept feeling as though there was something wrong. I'm getting that some of you have just realized that there were a third party influences happening that were making things difficult for your twin flame to honor and recognize you for the connection that you share. And for some of these twin flames, they're just now waking up to the fact that they had been in nothing but karmics, and now there is something larger, and now they're realizing that there might be a twin flame out there for them. So there's a lot of pain and disappointment and frustration with, how do you get past that? How do you work beyond this feeling of being stabbed in the back? That why would you ever want to keep someone that isn't for you, that isn't your match? And there's a lot of reasons that people may, in their own stages, their own healing journeys, may have these misunderstandings about control, about trying to manipulate situations, who may have vendettas against other people, who may have bitterness and resentment to other people, who are more confident, more sure of themselves. Ideas of possession and control can be extremely damaging to someone's feelings of self-worth. So this is not a situation for you to look at as a negative thing. This is a waking up moment for you. This is the opportunity for you to really clearly see, with this Four of Wands energy, really hone in on the things that are important. It was never about the karmic. It was always about realizing that there is no such thing as controlling another person. Their healing journey has to be embarked upon by themselves. They have to come to these realizations on their own. Something that you have done, the way that you have been living your life, the way that you express yourself, the way that you have embraced your authentic nature, the way you have started to glow and to thrive and be at peace with who you are, has gotten their attention. They can't help but think about that thing you said, or they can't help thinking about that moment where they saw you truly for who you are. This self-love, this confidence that you embraced for yourself, because you stopped making it about someone else. You started to make it about you. It doesn't matter. Nobody else is gonna make me happy. Nobody else is going to help me find peace in myself. I have to find it for myself. And I can't wait around for this other person to figure it out. That's not going to do me any good. I'm just waiting and getting disappointed and frustrated. And then I see them make the same stupid mistakes over and over. And you finally disconnected. Enough. It's about me now. I'm focusing on me now. As you did that, everything started to make so much more sense to you. It just became completely obvious, completely clear. It helped you really hone in on the things that actually are important to your twin flame journey, which is that journey of self-love. It's not been an easy journey for you to get here. You went through a lot of feelings of not being adequate. It was a lot of, why not me? Why am I not good enough? Why did you not choose me? Why has nobody chosen me? And all of these times, it was really the universe saying, why have you not chosen yourself? Choose you. You choose you first. You say, it's not that you haven't chosen me. I don't need you to choose me. I need to love myself first. I need to choose me first. I need to put myself up on that pedestal. And when I'm up there, people will naturally be drawn to me who appreciate and love that. And it's not going to be that they have to choose you, because they don't need to choose you anymore. You've already chosen yourself. But they will want to share in that, and they will want to bask in that energy. And they will want to reciprocate all of that with you. There is details and perceptions that have come to your mind that you wanted to push away, that you did not want to be true. You've gone through some dark shadow work, and you have realized that the only person who truly knows how to love you the way you deserve to be loved is you. And it's really hard to go out and find somebody who's capable of that. So it's impossible to look for love. It's impossible to hunt for, to be on a quest for, to search for that love. It's really about radiating that beautiful energy outward and finding that perfect alignment with that counterpart that reflects you, that mirrors your energy, that has done the work themselves and sees that you've done that work and sees how much you value and love yourself and says, it's not even about choice. I can't unchoose this person. I am drawn to this person in this inexplicable way. They just work for me. They're just right for me. It feels right. It's not a thing that requires this force or effort. It's not a struggle. It's not control. You cannot put somebody in alignment. They find it, and they find you. You find each other, and you're just cruising along together in perfect alignment, and you really don't have to think about it anymore, because they always implore you to be your authentic self. And you know that you would not have that connection if they were not who they were. And you know that they created that person before they met you. And you created you before you met them. And so there's this different kind of connection here. It's not a karmic connection where you're learning lessons from each other. This is two people that have done the work themselves and have found their own alignment, and they are their own respective flame, mirroring the flame that is just right for them, that keeps them in alignment on that path. So twin flame journeys, always about the self first. And that healing journey is the most important journey that you will ever embark upon. It is so worthwhile. So continue on it, and don't question the process. The process is what it is. Telepathy. It's sometimes disconcerting when you start to recognize your personal power. Child of the cosmos, and you are not alone. When you start to hear the voices in your head, and you're like, that wasn't me. when you start to feel another individual's presence, when it almost seems like they're mirroring and mimicking your thoughts, it's a little bit uncomfortable at first. But there's also something very comforting, because it's just this recognition that, like, we are all connected in some way, and I'm not by myself here. There are other components to my life here. There is a connection to my ancestors. There's a connection to my future self. There's a connection to my higher self. There's a connection to spirit. And all of these messages and all of these signs and symbols and synchronicities, the familiarity, the deja vus, the dreams, the little tingles that you feel when your hair stands up, when you feel like electricity is passing through you, when you look at an individual or you hear a voice and something else pops into your head, it can really feel as though you might be losing your mind a little bit, but you're absolutely not. This is a part of you becoming aware of and awakened to your natural gifts and your natural connection to all of the universe, your place in it as this fractal being that is just a piece of a larger, and as well as the micro that is a piece of you. We impart upon others our fractal wisdom as we come across these other individuals. Our energy is left behind in these tiny pieces. And you are the culmination of these larger experiences and these larger interactions with individuals, both in this plane, in your past lives, and beyond. So there's this starting to recognize this greater understanding of what all exists out there is not something that we'll ever fully be able to embrace. But I feel like it's just becoming very powerful within you. You're starting to really truly understand the nature that those aren't necessarily the invasive thoughts. And while there are invasive thoughts and people deal with mental illness in ways that we may not be able to understand, when you feel rational, when you feel like this makes sense, and you're not in this place of ever questioning reality, and you've never been known to be a person that loses their grip on reality, and then these thoughts pop into your head, the first thing that we're taught to do is to shut that up. That is our intuition speaking to us. Those are our connections to higher self. Those are our connections to our ancestors. Those are our guides. Those thoughts are popping into your head because you have put pieces together, and all of a sudden that realization exists. It may have been perceptions that you didn't realize you took in, little clues and things that you didn't realize that you had seen or heard or absorbed in any way. And all of them contribute to this awakening, this awareness of things being much more complicated than you have been told. Things are much more complicated than you were previously informed. I'm feeling very strongly with this one that there is a struggle for you to find the community that accepts you for who you are, that you have been cast to the side, you have been abandoned, you have been looked upon with kind of either scorn or ridicule for trying to have these discussions with other people, for trying to connect with others in a deeper way, for trying to for not having any interest in these mundane subjects. Small talk just doesn't give you anything, and whether you're capable of it or not, this is more about you becoming confident and in tune and in touch with yourself, and recognizing that while right now you feel as though you're not really able to connect with others in this way, and that you might not be able to find others who feel the same way you do, that there is a community out there for you. chosen family for you. There are individuals who will embrace all of that kooky weirdness, all of the different things that make you unique and different, that eclectic nature that you possess, whatever it is that they call it, whatever labels they've placed on you. None of that really defines who you are. These are just labels that people use to define things that can't be defined, to categorize so that it makes sense to them. But there are individuals out there that are very confident in knowing that they don't know anything. And they love being around others who like to ponder the universe with these childlike wonder and curiosities, and that love to have these deeper conversations, that find great value and connection in an open mind like yours. So this is your call to embrace this aspect of yourself in a way that's never been embraced, and to reach out and to find the kind of communities that really do value you, that will accept you and welcome you as you are. You don't need to be liked and loved by everybody, and you never will. This will always be a personal journey, and you will always find that your chosen family, the people that choose you, do so when you are your most authentic. It is that authentic self, that genuine version of you, that deserves to shine and be out there in the world. And when people start to recognize themselves in you, they are just drawn to you in this undeniable way. And that becomes your family. That becomes your tribe. That's your community. Those are the people that love you, not out of need, not because of what you offer, just because of who you are. We come to this final pull for the ocean and the voyage, and I really love how these two came up together. There is just a vast universe out there, not just with exploration of self and exploration of who you are, and revealing the deeper side of life, and philosophy and the esoteric, but in the physical sense as well. I feel like some of you are about to actually take some physical journeys. There's some trips planned. There's an opportunity for you to see another world. Always, always continue to explore. See as much of the world as you can. Embrace as many different types of people and culture and religion as you can. There is truth in all things. There is a truth and a beauty and a wonderful experience to be had every single place in this world. There are vast opportunities for us to get ourselves out there in different ways. While you may not be able to travel in a physical way, I'm getting that a lot of you are discovering how much more there is to explore and discover just within your own spirituality or within your own self. Starting to truly embrace all there is to learn still, and how much more there is to explore. For some of you, this is actually taking time to step out of your home and work and those familiar places that you spend all of your time in because they're comfortable, and actually start branching out into some new areas, into some new hangout spots, meeting some new people, new hobbies, new interests that expand your mind, that help you recognize how much more there is out there. And for those of you who are actually going to be spending some time exploring the world, and in 2025, I sense there's a lot of big opportunities coming forward for you. You're going to actually be setting out on and embarking upon a very intense journey of prioritizing yourself. Setting yourself at the helm of the ship, being the captain of your own, driving yourself through, and just really, really appreciating the fact that there is so much more, that it doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be the same thing. You don't have to continue with just the same people and the same mindsets. And we're starting to recognize that perhaps you had been stuck a little bit of stagnancy, where you started to hear people talking about the same situations and the same things, and started to feel like, really, this is a wall. This is a limitation that doesn't suit me. You make other people uncomfortable with this new realization for yourself. You've also recognized that you just can't settle. You have this adventurous spirit, and you just really want to get out there. You want to see more. You want to see what the world has to offer. You want to hear other perspectives and think about things in a much bigger way. That there's just this sense of never-ending knowledge that just can be poured out, and it's everywhere. It's surrounding you, and it's so vast, and it might even seem a little intimidating at times, because, like, where do you even begin? You just have to trust yourself, and you begin where you're called to begin. You may be called to begin in your hometown. You may be called to go to a new restaurant or a new coffee shop. You may be called to go to the library and check out a book that's intrigued you, but it wasn't something that you ever thought you would get around to reading. It may be that you go and listen to a talk from somebody that isn't speaking about a subject that you've been familiar with before. Or maybe it's a subject that makes you uncomfortable. But you're starting to recognize that there is so much more, and there is so much value in taking all of this in. It makes you feel more whole when you recognize how insignificant you are. It's so ironic to so many people. They're like, the more I learn, the less I know. And it's such a beautiful thing. It's exciting. And you go, why would you feel excited about that? Because I'm never going to get bored. There was a saying, I don't know where it comes from, or I would credit them, but it was, only boring people get bored. There's too much out there. How can you possibly be bored? If you're bored, it's because you have not put yourself in these situations that have the potential to make you feel uncomfortable, that have the potential to make you feel out of your element. There is a lot of growth and learning and a lot of beauty in being in a position that humbles you, that makes you feel completely out of your element. Going to another culture and learning, being open to learning about their culture without judgment, is such a refreshing view, and it can bring so much excitement to your life in just these little ways, and also in very, very big ways. So I'm sensing a lot of you are heading out and embarking upon bigger journeys of exploration, whether it's a personal, a little kitty tail there, whether it's a personal journey into intellectualism, or exploring your art, or a journey in your spirituality, or physically journeying outside of your town into other areas, into seeing the rest of the world, into appreciating other cultures and other experiences. This is going to be a very exciting cycle for you, and it's going to be so rewarding and so fulfilling. And the best part is, it's never over. You're just going to keep exploring, even beyond this life, because that's going to be the last great adventure that this life embarks upon, is the life after. There's a lot to take in there, but I feel like we're going to wrap this up. If there is something personal that you are hoping to find in the cards and you need help finding that answer, please reach out. I'm happy to do a personal reading. I do all of my readings by donation. If any of these readings call to you, please follow, favorite, leave me a comment. It helps me so much to interact and to get me to feed the algo gods. I am trying to reach 1,000 followers so that I can start doing live polls, so I appreciate your help so much in that. Thank you.